Now, one thing that people love to know all the time is when should you be selling off your CS investments? Because the truth is, you're actually going to profit more if you're selling off strategically. Look at this graph right here. This is the overall inventory value for me. And as you can see, there is a peak right here, right when CS2 was released. Obviously, we didn't know the market was going to go down afterwards, but we can definitely say if we sold during that time and rebought all of these items, we would definitely be in a profit. Now, starting off with the easiest category, I would definitely say that's active duty cases. Now, there's 5 active duty cases. We're going to talk about 3 of them really quickly. This is going to be your Revolution, your Dreams and Nightmares, and your Kilowatt cases. For me, these are a very easy sell. These are not something that I'm going to be holding on to for a fair bit because honestly, they've got so much time in the active duty pool, at least a year in my mind. Therefore, why would we be holding on to these? They're probably going to either stay the same or decrease in value. The other 2, Recoil and Fracture, are a little bit different. These do have the possibility of getting removed, and considering we know active duty cases make up a ton of unboxing numbers, theoretically, they're sitting at a low enough price point that it could be an opportunity if you wanted to invest inside of this area. Personally, it's not the way I want to go, and I probably wouldn't sell these, but I probably wouldn't buy these either, is probably the route that I would take most likely in this situation. Skinland is today's sponsor, and they're giving you a $10 bonus with code MasterShiny just to try them out. They're my go-to selling spot with the highest rate for sellers, and it's super easy to use. They're going to be currently the best option, paying over 100% when you use that $10 bonus. They're super trusted when it comes to transactions, and it took me just about 2 minutes for me to get my over $200 from this Emerald Jormungandr. They've got tons of different payout options, and they're also going to be having a super low fee buyer's marketplace. It's super easy, tons of deals cheaper than Steam, and tons of different deposit options. This deal won't last forever. Make sure you check them out today with that top link in the description. Talking about a bit of our sticker market, we got Antwerp and Stockholm right here, and I think the biggest question inside of this area really comes down to the fact of why you're trying to sell off these. Honestly, when we're looking at these capsules long term, we can see the fact is they are down significantly from the peaks they once had, and therefore it begs the question of would you be willing to sell at that price point previously, or if obviously you held on to a decent amount of your capsules now. I would say honestly it comes down to the fact of if you're trying to stay in the sticker market or not. I personally would really struggle to find a reason as to why I would be selling off my Stockholm and Antwerp if I'm trying to make more sticker investments in the newer era of stickers. Obviously, if you're trying to buy like some 2016s, that's a little bit different, but if we're talking about these newer ones, I don't really think there's a good reason to sell off these ones to try and roll it over into a new investment inside of this area. They're probably all going to be relatively the same, and you're going to take that fee. Overall, for me, this is a not sell area, but if you're trying to get out of the sticker market, I could understand why you might be selling. Now, talking about agents, this is an area that I personally really struggle with for a couple big reasons. If we want to look at the overall fundamentals of an agent, that they're not created nor destroyed in the current market, and honestly, overall, they are on a super large increasing trajectory since they've been released. Just because of the fact that we have not seen an operation, I really struggle to make any investment or honestly even sell off an investment inside this area. Obviously, they are on a very strong trajectory right now, and therefore selling off them on the strong trajectory could make sense if you think this is the peak, but honestly, I don't know if this is going to be the peak. We're still in an operation drought. I don't think that's going to be changing overnight, and as long as we don't see an operation, I think these are going to be on a very strong trajectory. Long term, I definitely don't think these are my favorite investment, but I don't think selling these off right now is actually the most optimal, if that makes sense. You want to know what I think is actually the most optimal thing to sell off right now? It's actually going to be rare cases. Now, hold on, let me explain, because you know I love my rare cases. If we want to look at the unboxing numbers, these things are dominating. I mean, look at these. This is super good. This is absolutely amazing. We're seeing 1 million unboxed per day in total cases. A decent amount of those are rare cases, but the biggest thing is it comes down to which specific rare case. If we want to look at something like the Weapon 1, we have seen nearly no growth for this, and the fact is it's such an extremely expensive entry point that people can't buy it, people can't unbox it at a rate that we're seeing for some of these cheaper cases, and that's the big differentiator here. Obviously, if we're talking about something like your Clutch, your Snakebite, your Prisma 1, your CS20, all of these cheaper rare cases, I definitely think those are terrible to sell off in the current market. They are on a very strong trajectory. The supply is running out significantly quicker than anything else in this area, and I don't think it's honestly a reasonable expectation that these are going to double overnight, and I think a lot of people are on that expectation, and that's why they want to sell. Instead, I'm talking about some of these more expensive cases, like your esports weapons, one of these cases that are really looking at a $10, $15, $20 price point. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be worth the opportunity cost for you to hold on to these cases unless you've got a big diversified portfolio. If you're someone that's just got a couple $100s in your inventory and you got a couple of these cases, I don't think it's reasonable for you to hold on to anything more expensive than something like the breakout case in this situation. Overall, just make sure you realize that there is an opportunity cost in holding on to some of these more expensive cases when the cheaper cases are looking like this. Now, talking about Paris and Copenhagen are a little bit of our cheaper, newer capsules for stickers. I would definitely say there's a big question as why you purchase Copenhagen if you're trying to sell in the current moment. Obviously, these capsules we knew are going to be very long term if you're going to make an investment inside this area. I'm more focused on Paris inside this situation. Honestly, I would not blame you if you wanted to sell off your Paris capsules. I don't think it's necessarily the best move in the current market, but if you're looking to get 10 cents out of the 25 you invested back, you can definitely do that. Overall, I think it's going to be a lot better of a situation if you just let them sit in your inventory. Obviously, we can look at something like RMR. It was in in the negatives for a very, very long time, it does recover. Obviously, we know the supply of pairs is massive, and I'm not saying it's going to recover next week, next year, or even the next decade, but I think it's a possibility. And honestly, I don't see them getting much cheaper as long as there's demand for the stickers, which we are seeing in the current market. I don't think it's necessarily the best time to sell when you're going to be losing 60% of your investment unless you really need the money. Now, talking about skins, this is an overall broad category, and I want to break it down a little bit more. If we're talking about operation skins, honestly, I don't think there's a good time to sell. Operation skins have consistently shown that they're going to be on an increasing trajectory, and honestly, with the trade up potential, I don't think it's going to be a very smart move to sell. If we're talking about overall play skins, there's definitely a breakdown of what case it comes from. If it comes from an active duty case, theoretically, it's going to go down in price, and therefore you should be selling. But getting to the majority of skins is going to be from your normal cases. They're a little bit older, they're a little bit more developed. For this, I would honestly say it depends on your overall inventory. I think that it's a really strong possibility a lot of people watching this video have a decent amount of play skins that they want to sell off to get into investments, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea, but remember why you're playing this game. At the end of the day, it is a game. Don't be selling off your whole inventory just to buy cases and never play the game or never enjoy when you're playing the game. I think there's a good balance in there. If you've got a $1,000 item that you're really not using, it could be a decent option to go ahead and sell off and get some investments. I would say it's a very strong dependent on what you want inside of this area, but I definitely think if you're going to sell off skins, there is a strong possibility that you could roll over that money into something more beneficial. Now, one interesting thing that we've been seeing going on over the past couple of weeks is going to be the indicator. This is the sticker capsule 2. It's something I love to refer to, and if you want to look at it, it's actually been exploding in price. It pretty much doubled, then it lost like half that value, then it gained it back, and then it's lost it once again. I think this is a really good indicator of basically what's going on inside the market, and people are just overall confused. Obviously, if you wanted to go ahead and make a quick flip on something like this, the opportunities are endless inside of this area, and I highly encourage you to do so. If you're paying attention, this is one of the easiest ways to sell an item and rebuy it back and make a profit inside of this area. Now, obviously, if you're looking to sell, one big thing that's going to be on the horizon, potentially that's going to be very dangerous, is an operation. Obviously, an operation drop prices down significantly all across the board. Usually these prices rebound. You're talking about generally 2 to 3 months, so I would definitely say don't sell off at the bottom of an operation when it's been released. The one area that's a caveat is going to be active duty cases. These continue to fall and usually take a significantly longer period to recover. Usually they're dropping about 50% on average, so that's something to keep in the back of your mind. An operation impacts everything, but it impacts everything a little bit different than the rest. Now, you've seen my investments earlier and you're seeing them once again. What am I actually selling? Because I am actually selling off some of these investments. The first thing I'm not selling is any of my sticker capsules. I don't think it really makes sense in the current market to go ahead and do so. I am actually selling off some of my older rare cases like I mentioned earlier. I think it's good to have that liquidity back in your inventory. The opportunity cost on these cases is getting really high. I'm also selling off a couple of my skins. Some of these operation skins that I've got a ton of one specific skin, I need to sell them off slowly over time so I can get the most value, and that's exactly what I'm doing inside the current market. I would say just be smart and don't put yourself in a position where you're forced to quick sell off your items. That's all I got with you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.